Hi everyone, Jennifer Blevins-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about understanding the payer plans included in your contracts. I am seeing this over and over again where so many practices are seeing patients under insurances in which they think that they can see all plans, and then they're receiving denials for non-participation. It is one of the most frustrating things I see on claim adjudications, not just for the practices in which are getting the denials, but for me, who's trying to guide people and help them figure out exactly how to avoid this situation, but there's not an easy answer. I am always one of those people that, and you've probably watched my other videos where I say, you need to look at your contracts. You need to review your payer contracts, make note of what lines of service are included in your contracts. And for the most part, a lot of these do list Medicare, Medicaid, commercial, right? And we're like, great, okay, great. We can see all of the patients. But what I am noticing more and more as of recently, probably the last year or two, that although it lists the line of services in which you should be able to see patients, there are going to be a lot of carve outs within each line of service of plans that you are not able to see. This goes for a lot of the healthcare exchange plans that are listed on the internet, that people who are like self-employed or don't get offered insurance through their employer, whatever reason, they don't qualify for Medicaid or Medicare yet, and they have to self-fund their insurance. They log on to healthcare.gov and they go find a plan. Well, a lot of those plans are carved out and excluded from the contracts, but it doesn't say that specifically anywhere. And sometimes there are other plans within the Medicaid lines of service, the Medicare lines of service. It could be the HMO plans, it could be the EPO plans, it could be something like that, where it isn't until you've seen the patient, rendered the services, bill it out, and it comes back as non-participating, and you go, wait a minute, I have a contract right here. I am participating. I'm an affiliated provider. My group is contracted. There's no way. And so you call and they say, oh, yes, under this patient's plan, you're not participating. And you go, where does it say that? How would I know that? Well, that's a really good question. And unfortunately, the only way you would really know that is if you call or contact the insurance somehow and say, okay, I have my contract. You tell me I'm participating in all these different lines of service, but I am seeing patients with plans and I'm getting them denied. How do I find out? You need to tell me what I am not able to see. And unfortunately, on top of this, it makes it very hard to get in touch with anybody at these insurance companies anymore to get this information. So not only are you frustrated and struggling to get the right information because your contract, in my opinion, should have this information and it doesn't, then you see these patients and then you lose this money because you can't bill the patient for the denied services because you didn't know they were going to be denied. So you didn't have the patient acknowledge they might be responsible for it up front before the services were rendered. And then you try contacting the insurance and you get a runaround and you can't talk to the right person or you can't even get a hold of somebody. It's very, very difficult. And unfortunately, I don't have an easy answer. It's one of those things where you just have to advocate for yourself and for your group. There is a little disclosure a lot of times on these contracts, and they're sneaky, sneaky. And it says this can change at any time. We have the right to undo this contract, or I forget the wording of it, but basically it's saying we have the right to change which plans and lines of service in which you are participating at any time. And I think that's really crummy because I don't even think they send out notifications as a courtesy to say, hey, you used to be able to accept this one, but now you're no longer going to be able to. You don't even get that courtesy when you first sign up with these insurances. They don't send you the contract and say, oh, by the way, these ones are the carve outs, or these are ones that we offer that you're not participating. They don't do that. And to try to find the list of insurance plans, the different plans they have, would be really difficult. But it's getting to the point almost where it's like you have to sit down, get the name of all the plans, send it to your contract at the insurance company, and say, here, can you go through this list and please tell me what is and is not included in my contract? Unfortunately, it's more of a trial and error. We'll see these patients under this Cigna plan, this UHC plan, this Aetna plan. And when you get the denial saying you're non-participating, and then you call to find out that, yeah, that plan specifically, you're not included, then you go, okay, well, I guess we won't see patients anymore with this plan. And you just keep a running list, and it's trial and error. I hate that. I do not do well with ambiguity. I don't do well with non-transparency, which is how I feel this is. But unfortunately, this is a growing trend. And I wanted to put this out there to make everyone aware that this is not just you. If you're experiencing this, you're not alone. Somebody who's worked in healthcare forever, that's done contracting credentialing, that is very proactive, that understands the processes, still is struggling with how to avoid these unnecessary denials. It's very, very unfortunate. The one thing I can say, and I made a video on this a few weeks ago, I'll put the link right here to the video so you can reference it, is you have to have patients checking their insurances to make sure that your office and you specifically as a provider are included on the plan in which they hold. We have to start having the patients be more proactive and educate them and help them know that if they want to continue seeing you and your office, they're going to have to do a little bit of legwork. With the access to online portals now, it should be a little bit easier for them to do this. They can put in your tax ID or MPI-2 number to see if your group is participating. If it's a new practice and you just switched from one to another, if they're a new patient, if they haven't seen you for a while, they saw you before, but it's been a year or two, even if they're not technically a new patient, that 3-year rule, but it's been a while, I would encourage your patients to go on, either call their insurance company or check the portal and make sure that your group MPI and your individual MPI are both participating with their specific plan, and educate the patients about this difference and about these challenges and ask them to help you. That is going to be the best way. You also, when you're doing eligibility and benefit verification before patients come in, hopefully you have this, checking to make sure that there is all that information. If it doesn't go down to the plan specific information in whatever eligibility screen you're using, whether it's coming from the clearinghouse and coming into your EMR, or you're going into the actual insurance portal, which a lot of people don't have to do that anymore with the technology and the interfaces with the clearinghouses, but you might need to start going into those insurance benefits in the actual insurance portal if it's a new plan you've never heard of or a plan that you're not familiar with, and go, I just want to check and make sure, and do your due diligence as well. There are ways to be proactive. You just have to put the right operational workflows in place and staff members responsible for this. If you want to talk about this further and you want to implement something like that in your practice, please reach out to me. I would be happy to consult on this for you and help give you some guidance and recommendations on best practices for this. But between your staff being proactive ahead of time and asking patients to also be double checking, that's the way you're really going to catch it, okay? If you have any questions or comments about this, please leave that in the comments below. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video is helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and please share this video with your colleagues whom you feel would benefit from the information. I appreciate your support, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.